I'm sorry to say this, guys, but KOSing is fun. The only time we think KOSing sucks is when we're being KOS'd. Let's be honest, when we're actually like killing people, it's actually fun. But yeah, let me just start with the easiest tip that nearly everyone knows, and I'm gonna slowly go down to like the top secrets of things that you didn't even know you could do in Creatures of Sonaria. By the way, at the end of the video, I'm just gonna put like all the tips together in order, so oh god. No, please, I just got this Sigma top. So yeah, watch to the end, please. Oh my god. Number 1. Let's say you're fighting somebody who is similar to you in strength and is as skilled as you. How do you beat them? Like, they're as good as you. You don't get more bites. But the one thing that usually determines the winner of the fight though is who gets the first hit. Because there are so many fights that get so close, but what if you just get an extra hit at the beginning? Make sure you always get the first hit. You can do this by like sneaking up on them, but I personally do it by pretending to be nice. It's a little bit evil. But anyway, number 2, and this one's pretty obvious. Whenever you're scouting to see who you're gonna KOS next, you want to actually go for the resting creatures, always. The creatures that are resting take more damage, and they have a little cooldown to get up and attack you. I guarantee you, as you play this game, as a KOSer, you will see a lot of people chilling and resting. This is your chance to get behind them and deal that sweet, like 2 times damage or something. Number 3, please stop using your creatures without plushies. Nah, bro, you're wasting so much potential. I feel like my menu looks a little bit off, but yeah, as I was saying, a lot of you don't have good plushies, but you have something. Use it. Do you all know how crazy 20% stamina is? This is my stamina without plushies. And this is my stamina with plushies. I honestly don't see a difference, but just use them. Alright, so the last 2 tips tell you what to do before fighting, which is going for resting creatures and getting the first hit. But what do you actually do once you started the fight and you're biting at each other? It's extremely simple. All you want to focus on is staying behind them. That should be your main goal during any fight. Biting them from a place you can't get bit, but I'm not doing that against this creature because I want to go for something without a giant battle axe on its tail. But as you can see, I'm gonna fight this Felicio, just completely focusing on staying behind it. Like, I'm not even doing anything. All I'm focusing on is staying behind it, and whenever I see that he's starting to face me, I just go back to his tail. That's what you want to do. And if you're fast enough to not get hit, like me, you won't die. Next tip, and I don't know how not everybody has discovered this yet, but the higher your FPS, the faster you can turn. Alright, so as you can see, my max FPS now is 60, and I'm gonna turn my graphics quality up as high as possible. So this is my turn rate. This is like the slowest FPS I think I can get. But if I turn my graphics quality to 1 and make this 240, this is how fast I turn now. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Unless you have like a potato device, then that's not very cool for you. I'm sorry. The next tip, and I call this tip the gliding tip. You can go really fast in the air without using any stamina. So if you start flying like normally and then you try to like build that momentum and sprint, it just takes you a while to go fast. And when you want to go fast so you can like chase someone, this isn't the best way to move around. It's like the worst, normally flying. But look at this. I literally just like started with max momentum and I'm as fast as this little thing. Look, I'm gonna even do it again. I only have like 40% stamina and I'm literally just gonna start with all the momentum. Alright, so how do you do this? Well, first of all, never use your jump key to start flying, which is like this. Like, never start flying by flapping your wings. Instead, we want to start flying by gliding, like this. And you do this by literally just pressing the glide button and it will start flying like this instead of like flapping your wings. There's just one more thing. Before you start gliding, you want to be running. You don't need to run for a long time or anything. You just want to start running and then glide. You will see that you're already like going fast. This is the easiest way to do this. So, like, let's say I want to fly fast now. I literally just start sprinting and press the glide button. Look at this. I'm already going insanely fast. And that Valmora is not catching up even though I'm bigger. Here's an example of me using this when I was getting chased. You will get used to this over time. But yeah, always start flying by gliding and sprinting at the same time. This next one is extremely important. The most unstoppable thing in Creatures of Sonaria, it's not a Caldone Terrace. No, it's a Miju Swima with water. That's why the next tip is using terrain to your advantage. Now, I'm not done. I didn't even like continue the tip. Stop judging. But what I mean by this is that most creatures in the game aren't like just land creatures, you know? They got like semi-aquatic or they can climb. So if you can climb, stay near them walls, bro. Then nothing can like kill you unless they can also climb. You get what I mean? Now, if you're a Mijuswima near the water, you're pretty much unstoppable. Because what can kill you? A Caldon Terrace? No, bro, you can swim. And I'm gonna give you a tip inside of a tip. If your creature is semi-aquatic like Mijuswima, then you should always move by darting. Never ever like walk around, because darting is the quickest. It is so much faster, and you can always escape enemies by doing this. I don't think enough people understand how broken like being able to fly around like this is. My Mijuswima Bulby feels pretty unsafe right now. You know, there's like a bunch of creatures around. Look at that. I don't even know what he's doing. But if I play Mijuswima with the rule that I'm always just near the water, like I'm between water and land, so it's like you get access to like two different worlds that no one can access both. So you're pretty much unbeatable. Unless it's like another Mijuswima, then we don't talk about that. Nah, but for real, even if it's another Mijuswima, you can use your darting skills to get away. If you seriously want to become like the KOSer of KOSers, then you should probably know this. You can type /hitbox to see your hitbox, but you might have to like type it multiple times. So as you can see, there's like a red bar that appears when I bite. This is pretty much my biting hitbox, and this is extremely important to know. So as you can see, my hitbox is outside this creature, so I can't bite it. But if the red box is touching him, then it counts as a bite, and I think he's about to kill me, so... Oh my god, bro, not again. I got chased at the start of the video in the same exact path. But because I'm a pro KOSer, I'm gonna use Elasmo's tip using terrain to his advantage, and I can easily climb away. Yeah, now look at that Hylian Warden. Big loser. Anyway, Kavaradis' hitbox, for example, it's like under it, right? Signatox, it's pretty much in front of it, and like it's just like a big tall thing. So now I know whenever I'm attacking someone, I can't be attacking him if he's under me or if he's to my side. Nah, it's literally just like right in front of him. And now that you know like the best ways to move and use your creature and attack people, what creature do you actually use? There's like a stupid amount of creatures in this game. Like, which ones are good for KOSing? Now, I wish Creatures of Sonaria would like actually start labeling the creatures as defensive creatures and offensive creatures, because there are so many people trying to KOS. This thing is a tank. It's meant to survive hits. It's not supposed to be used for KOSing. Now, what tells you if a creature is more offensive, better for KOSing? It must either have a high amount of damage or a good offensive status effect. So as you can see, this has low damage and no offensive status effects. So like, let's go through the creatures and just like pick a random one. I'm gonna do Torlistris. So Torlistris has a high amount of damage. Maybe it has like low health and whatever, but it doesn't matter because we're pro KOSers. We're not planning on getting hit. And it also has status effects, so this is definitely a good KOSing creature. And if you're using this creature just to KOS, the best ones to use are the ones with Keen Observer. So just search up Keen Observer and then look for creatures that deal like either good damage or a good status effect or whatever. So once you've picked your creature, if you're literally just using this for KOSing, it's actually best to make his skin like as dark as possible. Now it might look a little bit ugly, but it's definitely extremely hard to see. Like as you can see when I'm fighting this person, I was barely able to see them. This is only if you want to be like a super annoying KOSer. Me personally, I like to go with decent looking skins, so I don't like to make it full black, but that's something you can do. I regret telling this to everyone because now everybody's gonna make like pitch black skins and everyone's gonna become an unstoppable KOSer, so I'm scared kind of. And if you still don't know exactly what creature is best for you, I want to tell you that the smaller your creature is, the more room there is for skill. So if you're not amazing at fighting, then you should probably use a tier 3 or tier 4 because there's not much room for skill. They're slow anyway. You should definitely go for smaller ankle biters once you've gotten good at KOSing, because there's more room for skill with the smaller creatures. And the last KOSing tip, and this is used for escaping, you can actually menu while flying. So if you're using any creature that can fly, when you're gliding and you press the menu button, it will start menuing. You just don't want to press like WASD, you don't want to move. You can turn though. So yeah, you can like basically fly around while menuing. No one will ever be able to hit you if you're like turning like this. So yeah, that's like a guaranteed escape if you're using any flyer creature. No one can kill you like this. So now that I've told you all the tips, I'm actually gonna organize them really quick into like a process. The process of becoming a pro KOSer. First thing, pick the right creature, which means pick an offensive creature that's good for KOSing. Now you can tell this by high damage or a good offensive status effect, like Arenoa for example. This has good damage. Bonus points if it has Keen Observer, because you're a pro KOSer, you always want to see their health, see if you're losing or winning. When you're creating your creature, you want to make it as dark as possible if you want the best chances of winning fights. Now, before you play as the creature you've created, put a plushie on it. Doesn't matter what plushie, even if you have bad plushies, there's definitely like something out there that gives you something. 10% stamina even, that matters. Once you've spawned in, what is the terrain of your creature? Always use it. I'm a semi-aquatic, which means if I want the best chances of winning fights, I want to stay near the water. So if I'm losing a fight, like this fight, I can literally just go into the water. And even if he's also semi-aquatic, I can dart away, like this. If my semi-aquatic creature was like over here and I was being attacked, I would have nowhere to go. Like, all I can do is run, which usually ends up in death. And if it's a land creature, you do the opposite. Always be a bit further from the water so that no one can escape when you attack them. You can't go in the water or attack water creatures anyway, so the water is kind of useless to you. And here's a little extra tip. Please, stop fighting with the same style with every creature. There are damage dealers, there are glass cannons, there are bleed dealers. All the creatures are so different, but a simple way is if you're smaller than your opponent, you should be more like hit and run. So you want to like bite their tail and then run away. But if you're bigger than your opponent, like I'm bigger than this Solchuri, you want to tank them as much as possible. You know you can beat them in a tank fight, so it doesn't matter if they hit you. Top goal if you're bigger is just to stay on them. If you want to know exactly where you're hitting, you can type /hitbox to see where you're biting. So yeah, there's a red bar that shows me my hitbox. Now let's initiate a fight. The thing we want to do is attack resting creatures. It will do extra damage and it's just better. We always want to get the first hit, so you want to always attack them from the back. Never start attacking them from their face, obviously, because they will one-shot you. After you got the first hit while they're resting, your top priority during the fight is to stay behind them. Because they're gonna try to turn back, and all you want to do is just stay on their tail. That is your main goal, and as you can see, this Chame was not able to get any bites on me. Now, obviously, because I've been behind it the whole time. Staying behind them is a skill. It's not like something you can instantly start doing, but as long as you practice it and keep fighting, you will get better. Just understand that if you like develop the skill of being able to stay behind someone, they can never bite you. You're unstoppable. It doesn't matter if you use a puff bomb, you will be able to kill whoever you want. See, this person is trying to get behind me, and if anyone's trying to get behind you, you obviously want to turn as fast as possible or strafe. If you're losing, you already know how to escape. For flyers, use the gliding tip from before. For semi-aquatics like me, use terrain to your advantage. This is something that I'm not doing right now, which is bad. So if I was like losing this fight, then I'm cooked. That's why I have to stay near the water. Oh yep, now a big Vomor is attacking me, so I'm literally just gonna ambush to the water. And now I can just dart away. And this guy's about to kill me, but I gave you the darting tip before, so you just want to like dart away anywhere. Just rest for a little bit, you know. And he will find me eventually, but that's fine. I've healed a little bit. And then I got stamina, I can just do the same trick. Now after a 1v1, half of the time, the person you KOS'd, his friends will go, oh my god, KOS her, and they will finish you off. So always try to hide in a bush or hide in any place. So I'm just gonna get down here after I've killed someone and lay down until you've healed. But yeah, as long as you practice, you will get good at fighting and you won't even need like half of these tips anymore. As long as you're just good at staying behind them and getting all those hits when they can't bite you. That's what KOSing is. If you guys enjoyed, subscribe.